And there's a lot of people out there. They're not number people. They're thinking that, hey, I got my accountant, they'll take care of everything. And they'll let me know if something's not right or if something's not going on according to plan and stuff like that. But as you kind of allude to later on, they started learning the numbers. There's a saying that if you don't know your numbers, your business is doomed to fail.
Well,
So explain to people why, like, to what extent should owners know their numbers and then go, okay, the rest should be the accountants, or should they be fully involved?
yeah, I gotta back up just a second around the I'm not a numbers person. There is not a person in the world who is not a numbers person. Are you going to be on time for this meeting? You're looking at numbers. It's quarter till, you got 15 minutes. You go to the doctor, what's the first thing they do? They take your vitals.
Mhm.
You get on some medication to control some numbers. I mean, you look at the blood panel that you get when you go to the hospital. There are numbers everywhere. You decide I'm going to buy this because it's 99 cents versus this one that's $18,000. Numbers are around us. Numbers control everything we do. Even if you work for somebody, you have a budget. You instinctively know that you're getting paid that $2,000 a month, whatever it is, then that's you have to live within that numbers, or you're going to go deeply into debt. No one's ever shocked or surprised when they run out of cash. They're just not paying attention because they got this fear in them that, oh my God, numbers, accounting, ooh, I can't get it. It's basic addition. And when you get into like even all your KPIs, your key performance indicators, mostly you're going to have multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. There's nothing magical, there's nothing mystical about it. Accounting is some logical, but once you get a little bit of education, then you're ready to go off. Then you can start getting involved. And the business owner, our objective, we say it in the book, our job is not to kind of make you the financial expert, but we want you to become aware and involved enough so that when they talk about what's going on in your business, you know what questions you ask, you know what stories to look for, and you are actually able to interpret the results or ask the questions, this isn't making sense. Tell me why not. I
So,
don't know if that
so
answered the question or not, but
yeah,
our
well,
job is to not make you
yeah,
an
no,
accountant.
Lynn's getting right there. Your job is not to be a financial expert. Your job as a business owner is to know somewhere between 3 and 5 numbers that can tell you the health of your business. Let's go back to Lynn's analysis. When you go to the doctor, what do you get, right? You sit down, what do they do? They take your temperature, blood pressure, pulse. That's right, the 3 things. Those 3 numbers take it from I don't feel well to okay, we might have something here. Same with you, right? So we can take, we do, we take your financial documents where, it's 200 lines. You have no idea what it means. It's crossed over, 12 months, and we come up with 3 to 5 scorecard metrics, KPIs, key performance indicators. Those KPIs will tell you how your business is doing. In almost every business, profit margin is one of your KPIs, right? Are we making money or are we losing money when we sell the widget? And then every business is going to be different. Once you understand those KPIs, you can say, oh, sales are up, sales are down, profit is up, profit is down. Okay, those are kind of basic things. And then the question is, well, why? So, for
Mhm.
example, I said from the top, I own a junk removal company. So, in junk removal, my number one variable expense is labor, the guys in the field, right? I have fuel and I have disposal, right? The guys in the field cost me the most money. Now, fixed expense side, I have salaried employees, right? Huge difference. And then I have truck payments and a building and insurance and all that stuff, right? In this big business, $2.5 million business, one number tells me whether or not, or there's 3 numbers I look at, right? One number tells me my efficiency, dollars per hour. How many dollars did each of the employees in the field produce this week? That's my first. Second, what was my revenue to goal? And so when I have 100% revenue to goal in the week, and my dollars per hour were over the threshold set, I had a great week. I hit my sales number and I was efficient. Now, let's look at what else might happen. When I don't hit my sales number and although I'm efficient, I had a good week, my dollars per hour were high. I had an efficient week and yet I left capacity. Guys maybe didn't work 40 hours. Trucks weren't on the road 10 hours those days. Okay, so now I have a capacity issue. I need sales to sell more of the inventory and capacity of time. Now let's flip it around. I hit my margin and I didn't hit my efficiencies. That means we hit our dollars. We fully, we had full capacity and our guys ran late. They ran long because they were out there longer than possible, longer than what we had planned for. And so now I've been inefficient. So that's probably a training gap. Or I don't have enough guys. I need more guys because the guys I had were burnt out. So now you can say, did I have a good week or bad week? It's like, well, I can look at two numbers and decide, does sales need to increase sales? Does service need to be more efficient? And what do I need to do to make them more efficient? So instead of saying, oh, I don't know, we had a bad week and I don't even know where to start. It's like, well, there's like three levers to pull, right? So for example, going into the week, now let's take it a step back. We look at our number sales to goal on Monday morning. When we see sales to goal is below a certain threshold, we increase our Google ad spend. That's simple. We need the phone to ring on Monday and Tuesday. Not hope, not pray. We need it to ring. So we increase our Google ad spend. Conversely, when we've oversold for the week, right? Think about an airplane, right? They sold too many tickets. They're hoping somebody doesn't show up to that flight. Same with us. When we've oversold our inventory or close to oversold our inventory for the week, we cut back our Google ads because that's a lever we can pull. And so that's what business owners ought to understand. What are the 3 to 5 numbers? What are the 3 to 5 levers? When you have that, you sleep easy at night.
2.
Okay, so 3 is shape. So my question for Andy is, if you have to describe success as a shape, what shape would that be and why?
Hexagons, because they're the best of gons. It's the most powerful shape in the universe. It's the most powerful shape. With a hexagon, they fit together perfectly. They have the most strength, so they're pushed from side to side. And when people think of hexagon, they think of bees, right? Bees are the ultimate industrious people. The math is if you paid bees minimum wage, 1 pound of honey is like $200,000 a pound, right? So the hexagon is the best of gons. It's a CP Gray YouTuber put a video out like 10 years ago, and hexagons are the best of guns.
Wow, it almost sounds like you had that prepped and ready to go.
Oh, I was so excited. When I saw shape, I'm like, oh my God, I have a perfect, I love that shape.
Number 2 is ice skates. So Lynn, if you had to use ice skates as a metaphor for success, how is success like ice skates?
You either have to learn to, you have to, I've never learned to skate backwards. So somewhere in the whole thing is we are all particularly when you're running a business, you're always on slippery ground. A couple mistakes here and there, your business is going to go under. And so you really need to kind of both learn how to learn the basics, the fundamentals, be able to go forward, be able to go backwards. But then the real fun happens when you're starting to accelerate, and then you're spinning around you're not just going around the circle, you're actually participating in an event. And when you reach that level where you are doing things that nobody else is, there's just going to be that emotional high that nobody else is having. And when your business is humming and running, you're feeling confident, you're in control. That's when you're like on those skates, you're jumping, you are in control because you know exactly where you're going to land, how you're going to land, and you're going to get that 10 out of 10.
Nicely done. So that's how success is like, how success is like an ice skate, and why hexagons is the perfect metaphor for success. So thank you very much for the two of you for playing along.